They label my forefathers who lived of the most divine way of the Most High Father, of whom is the true one and descendant upon the sphere, and whom created the sphere. They labeled them of all types of bullshits and lies and whatnot, labeling them Egypt in itself, no letter left, no letter lost, type G. G as in that head space gram above your head, in which sits atop you to be. Because see, my forefathers, they basically had mastered the right way to live about the sphere. You know, people sit there and do the sickest things, and now the most dumbest shit. It's all a mock of Egypt, because Egypt held a supremacy about it in which could not be held in itself at any generation of the present now, and it was of black people, mixed people, and white people. You feel me? And they didn't see themselves as a race. They simply saw themselves as. But those who ruled Egypt were of a certain complexion, and I will tell you this: none of the people who ruled Egypt were of a complexion of white. No, not one. Shoot. However, they were of the complexion as this. Of a tan as fine as brass, you feel me? And they hated that because of their societies. There wasn't some system of it about in which below oneself. There wasn't so much as one person on the streets who was homeless. You feel me? They weren't a lot of people roaming around as to prove themselves to a blot of nothing, to be a fuckmonger to, and as to basically taint that in which has to uphold their child. No, my forefathers practiced supreme abstinence, and by supreme abstinence of themselves, not being themselves, but of taking forth the Most High Father and thinking of themselves like, okay, everybody in this room, we're all Jesus, and we're solid Jesus. We're the type of Jesus who will beat you with a rod, and we all have Jesus in us, so in the same sense, we're all going to do Jesus' way. Well, think of that as Heru, and with about 10 men in which you consider as to be niggas. You feel me? Shoot, we were only about one thing, about carrying out that in which must be done. And in the day, unlike now, in which nothing is done, well, there is something done, but back in Egypt, there was a doing too. Now they try to make forth as nothing be done. Now they tries to make forth a child know about beating his rod back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Feel me? No one did that in Egypt. No one so much as did that in Egypt. How you like that? Shoot. And for that, the son came forth when it was time for the son to be brought forth before themselves, the man and the wife, the husband and the wife, they brought forth the actual son of the latter. Shoot. And this time now it was so hard as to be, but it came forth. Shoot, because my dad wasn't some old fuckmonger. Shoot, he did what he did, but and then my dad was blessed with, of his bloodline being the direct descendant of those unto the house. My father's rod will always bring me forth. Shoot, and in his and so forth, always hold sign. Shit. And they mocked it. They mocked it with their stupid ass stamp and all that other dumbass bullshit. Saying that's the sign and shit, and the seal, which is that, and the stamp is the center of your brain. Shit. And what is the nigga trying to do but stamp their fucking dickhead on a bitch? This shit's funny, dude. It's fucking sad. It's sad, bro. But there's nothing you can say about Egypt. All you can say is lies about Egypt compared to what I have to say of my forefathers, and that in which I know is true. Shoot. this is true about your shit. You looking at all these people, even the people who have who are man enough to say, well, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be to my own tribe. I'm not gonna collide nobody's brain. I'm gonna be to my own tribe. I wear the symbol about my chest, and all of some hate shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just wear the shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, you treat even them, all of us, like we're all a bunch of spit on, piss on Jew, huh? But in reality, the only Jew is the motherfucking all of you. Shit, every last motherfucking breathing soul.